when you've come in today, you're obviously super steep.
Yep.
Like really steep, like through your lead forearm. So what we've obviously already discussed off camera, which we'll just go through a little bit of it so people know what we're talking about, is we're talking about like reshaping the swing today and the direction in which the energy moves. So obviously whether I move in a straight line, whether I move open or whether I move this way, they'll all read as lateral motion. But one thing we're talking about today is the redirection of that energy. So trying to get everything to move more towards your toe, because the more that I move this way, naturally my arms drop more up and behind. The more I move this way, they pull down and in front. And we've obviously had quite a few online lessons.
Yep.
And we've talked regularly about your arms like not pulling. Now we've seen it like in person and from behind, you can see kind of where it's coming from. It's due to the direction in which your arms in the direction in which you use the ground. So you go into that lead heel too early.
Yeah.
So what we're doing to start off with is obviously where we're going to start reshaping it. We're obviously on the first stage of it here, and we're going to go through drills on a ball, then feels, and then obviously what we're feeling then on a ball when you're not doing the drill.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll go through all that today. What we saw obviously with the first swing is how much shallower it starts getting almost immediately. So that's obviously a good thing. So yeah, so if you just want to kind of go through the drill for me there, Kev. Back, step in. Good, beautiful. So what we're doing in this drill is we're obviously trying to get energy. So because you're physically stepping towards the towel, you can't really do anything but move energy that way. And one of the things we also saw with you is the old kind of trendy name of early extension.
Yeah.
Because you're starting to go into your heel too early, you then thrust forwards and your club's so far outside the ball, like just before impact, the club's actually outside the ball and then causes you to swipe left, which is obviously costing you distance, start line left and over curve.
And balls.
There you go, and balls, exactly, mate, yeah. So obviously what we've seen today, by us doing it like this already, we can see that by actually physically stepping towards it, that obviously puts pressure into the toe rather than the heel, which then actually allows you to bend more from here as opposed to early extend.
Yeah.
And it makes it much easier for you to release the golf club. Good, beautiful, mate. So what we'll do now, Kev, is obviously we want to progress these drills onto a ball.
Yeah.
You can't step in towards a towel because if you do, you'll just shank it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to create the same kind of, I guess, energy channel, if you want to call it. Like we're trying to move everything this way, but we're going to do it in the backswing. The other thing that's going to do for you then, because you're moving further away from the ball on the backswing, you better stay in that kind of tilt forwards longer in transition. And also you're going to have to release the club a little bit better to get the club back on the towel. Obviously, when we get on a ball in a minute, that's also going to be really important for that too. So what this builds in is not only you shifting pressure more towards from obviously like heel to toe, what it also does is it creates patience with this, but it also makes you want to naturally start to release the club a bit better. And in transition, it just kind of, it slows down that want to rip open and pull. So it just allows us to kind of time that a little bit better. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the club behind the towel. We're then going to step backwards like this. So instead of stepping at any kind of angle, you're just going to drop your foot back and then you're just going to come through and hit the towel without any kind of pausing. That's it. Good, beautiful. Nice, mate. What you'll notice there is obviously because you've gone this way, naturally then you have to push harder into that toe. You have to get into the toe more and you have to be way more patient here. Yeah. You can't kind of get
it's
that
like
way.
You have more time to...
Exactly, mate, yeah, because it's almost just creating more and more space all the time, and you hear me talk about that all the time, like space and time, space and time. Good, beautiful, mate. See how then you can't get over it because you're so far away from it. Because like you're back here, if you went like that, you'd miss the towel.
You still feel you're over it all the time.
Absolutely. Nice, beautiful. Pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Should have come up ages ago.
What does it feel like? Obviously, you were quite good at communicating how you felt on the ball before you came in.
Yeah.
Now you're doing that. How does it feel in relation to obviously the steep swings you were making at the start?
It feels like you're over and more time. It feels easier.
Yeah.
Because I always remember that when I've hit a lovely shot, it feels effortless. Mm-hmm. There's hardly any movement. It's just your arms doing the stuff.
Yeah. Feels like you're kind of working less. You see, if you think about it, if you're being more patient here, like this is doing way less.
Yeah.
And then from there, then it's just kind of
Yeah.
boom. Then the arms can just catch up with you.
It's like that practice swing on the tee, and it's like really easy, and then
Yeah.
it was different when you hit the ball.
Of course it is. Yeah, always. Bit more anxiety, bit more stress, bit more tightness in the arms. Good. Mate, playing on that now, it's perfectly through your forearm. So the great thing is, what we've done is here, we've not had to artificially create a shallower plane. What we've done is we've changed the direction in which pressure moves in your foot to basically dictate the plane. So if I just grab the club again, so what we've done is obviously because we're moving you more this way, because energy's this way, what happens then, you naturally, as soon as you make a move left, because your feet are staggered, it moves more towards the toe. By that then, what we've seen from there, I was just watching the plane from on the camera, what we see from there then is all of a sudden, because you're moving like this way, all of a sudden your arms and hands are deeper and they stay more here, so then you can physically release the club. Whereas obviously when we first saw you earlier on, energy's moving more almost this way, club then starts to get down and gets in front of you too much, club's way out in front, then as we know with you then you had to kind of pull it across too much this way. And what it looked like on camera there as we're doing it, because we've obviously created this channel, what happens then naturally is you also have to get way more over it, which is perfect because we know notoriously you're a early extender. So and all we've literally done, we haven't told you to get a draw plane, we haven't told you to start like swinging the club out to 2 o'clock or whatever it is people say. What we've done is we've just changed the way energy moves through your foot. And what we'll see when we get back on the ball is normally for you the ball starts 20 yards left. Because you're pushing more into your toe, that's also going to then give us a reaction on the ball. So what these kind of things do for you, Kev, is they allow you to put a ball flight or start line to a feel. And when you're on the golf course, that's what starts to build confidence. We'll do a couple more of these first, but then what we're going to do, we're going to put this exact drill on a golf ball. Okay, so let's do a couple more of those first.
So step back,
Yeah. Beautiful. Good. Nice, mate. I'll tell you what we'll do, mate. We'll go straight onto a ball now. What club did you have there again?
8 iron, I think it is.
Yeah, let's go 9 iron, just so you've got a little bit of loft in there. What I'd expect to see initially is the potential of thins and shanks. Reason being, because I've moved your energy more back here, if you spin whatsoever from there, you'll never get the club back to the ball. So that's very normal. But what then should happen over 3, 4, 5 balls is we should start to see then you wanting to be more patient, because everything we're doing in these drills essentially is to incentivize you to move the way that we're asking you to move within the drill. So we're trying to incentivize you to kind of be more patient with your chest, to not rip the arms down. And then exactly, and because you're further away from it, we're also incentivizing you to actually release the golf club a little bit more, as opposed to kind of getting pulley on it. You're just going to drop that right foot back, and then you're going to have to stay way more patient. You're going to step like that and then hit the ball on the way down at full speed. There you go. So
as expected,
mate, exactly what's expected. So the reason that's expected is obviously I've moved you 3 to 4 inches that way. So if you don't move back in and release the golf club to its full release pattern. So you imagine I've got the maximum point of extension from my left shoulder to the club head. So if I don't release that club and I stay here, and I've already moved you 4 inches further away from the ball, you're just going to top it. Which is exactly what you, it was, Yeah, it didn't cut, did it?
Right, here we go.
So now what I want you to feel in this next swing is that you're more patient with your chest. So as you stepped away, I then want you to feel more patient with your chest, and I want you to fully release that golf club to get it back to the ball.
Right.
It's going to feel probably more arms. Oh, good. So a little bit thin. But start line, not left. The first thing I'm always looking at during a lesson is, where does the ball start? What does it sound like? What's the curvature? So they're the 3 things I'm always looking for. So when you started off today, you think about your 2 main misses that you've even kind of said to me, and I saw as I witnessed when you move in here, is heavy and left. So when you look at that, thin and right. So something's changed. And then what we've got to do now is just give you a second or 3 or 4 balls to be able to kind of figure out the timing of it. And it wouldn't surprise me if in the next 3 balls you flush one. Almost. Good, mate. Beautiful. Very, very different in the ground.
I can get that, I know that feeling that I just felt it then. It's just...
So a little step, More patience, throw the club. Good, Kev. So now all of a sudden you're hitting it on your target.
I mean, that's not even out the middle neither.
No, but it's coming off even hotter than it was
Yeah,
doing earlier.
exactly.
And the great thing is you're not having to get the strike because you're so over it and you're de-lofting everything to try and cover it.
Yeah.
And what you'll notice, again, at the moment, because the release isn't perfect, because you've never had an incentive to release it. We said to you earlier, because of where your club is, pre-impact, if you just grab as a club a sec, obviously early on, you're getting the club really steep here, club's out in front of your toe line. As you're coming into delivery, the club's actually outside the ball.
nothing to release,
So if you
is it?
released it from there,
Yeah.
A, you can't, but if you did, you'd miss the golf ball.
Yeah.
So what you're incentivizing yourself to do then is to go like this through the ball and stand up and pull your arm and pull the club. Your body is designed to not release the club head.
Exactly.
So what we've got to do is we've got to put your body in a position where it can start to relax a little bit and go, okay, now I can release it. Because if you start seeing the ball starting online and you start seeing the ball is a little bit thin, you're going to be more inclined to want to actually not hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
So what you can start to do is, if you imagine, if I've got you moving way better through here, but then you just don't quite let it go, you're just never quite going to get the club back down to the bottom of the arc. Whereas my maximum point of extension is going to come through releasing it. So from my shoulder to my club head now, that's as long as it can physically get. And now I've actually got the space and time to do that. Whereas obviously if I've gone like this and I was to do that, I would just miss it even further outside and I'd fat it even worse, which obviously is your miss pattern anyway.
Yeah.
So what you'd expect to see over time now, we're going to keep you moving as well as you are. In a couple of balls time, probably 5 balls, normally what will happen is you'll start to do it organically.
Yeah,
because you're going to react. You'll start to react the right way anyway. But if you don't, what we'll do is we'll just put a bit more emphasis on it in a moment. That's it. So nice little step back. Good. And just with that, Kev, just try and, the step back, try not to make it quite as big so you're not quite reaching too much. So we're going to make it a little bit more, I guess it's not game like, 'cause you're never going to step like this in a game, but a little bit more natural. So a little bit less with the step, but still, there you go. There you go. Mate, that
against the wind.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like, you're aiming at the white rock, it's started bang on it, wind's pumping off the left, which hopefully isn't interfering with these too much.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing there is that ball's holding against that wind. And on the angle, you can't really stop it from going left to right today. So the thing is, on a 30 mile an hour wind off the left, you've moved the ball 5 yards left to right, which is perfect. So same thing, and go. Good, mate. Beautiful.
That felt like a golf shot, that.
Looks like it.
How much do cost caddying? Just come round with me all the time.
A lot of money.
Shot, yeah.
A lot of money. Right, so just make the backswing for me, Kev, really quickly. Just make the backswing for me. With the little step, sorry. So little step, beautiful. Right, now just make you move in. There you go, good.
Yeah.
So just kind of try and delay these just a hair.
Yeah.
And then what that's going to do is the shallow element of it will just get better and better.
A bit of a pause, sort of.
Little bit of a pause with the arms, yeah, before you send them. There's 2 ways of shallowing it once you're moving in the better direction. We either get that disassociation between body and arms, or we actually kind of feel like we're casting the club. When you're moving well, casts don't really exist. If you think, if I start to go backwards, I'll throw the club like in that way that's explained as a cast. But if my body's working how it should and I cast it,
it gets to the right
it actually
place.
gets to the right place. It's actually just a release. Yeah.
Throw at the bottom.
Exactly, yeah. So there's a couple of ways we can do it, but we'll figure that out over a couple of balls. Beautiful. Very different start line, bud.
Yeah.
We're actually starting the ball where you're looking, which is task number 1, isn't it? I think whenever I'm going through those 3 pieces, it's strike, start line, curvature.
Yeah.
And I think when you can kind of say to a player, right, when you push into there a little bit more, that's going to start the ball here. And then the great thing from there is we can then say to you, right, once you've done that, if you release the club, you'll like hit a little hold up draw. If you happen to still pull a little bit once you're in, you'll just get a little cut. But all of a sudden, they're both super safe.
Yeah.
Whereas where you are at the moment,
My margins are like that.
they're too wide.
Just,
yeah. Whereas your margins are going to be well, one's cut 8 yards, the other one's drawn 5 yards. The biggest thing I often see with players is they'll go, oh, I hook it or whatever. And I'm like, when I watch it, it's not the shape on the ball that's actually the issue. It's the fact that it's starting 20 yards left. So generally, I often find that if you can start a ball online, it's very rare you see people curve a ball more than 20, 30 yards.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking game course management wise, so this is the stuff through Decade, which is amazing. If you've got a player that's got like a 60-yard window with a driver, if he can hit the center of that window and hit where his start line is, he's not really missing that 60-yard curve.
It's within his margins,
he's not
isn't it?
curving it more than that. It's very rare you see somebody who starts the ball online that curves it more than 30 offline. Obviously, we have certain players that slice it and whatever. Generally, it's start line that gets players. Lost balls, I often see when I'm out doing playing lessons, it's very often start line that causes the lost balls, not the curve element.
Yeah.
So having the ability to know, right, when I do A, it does B, that very often is why players then start to grow in confidence a little bit. So let's have another little go at this. Good. Beautiful. Nice, mate. Mate, was that
lovely, that.
Was that a draw?
A little bit at the
I
beginning.
think
it
that was a
looked
bit
like
of a
it.
draw.
When the wind got hold of it afterwards. That's like what I was saying earlier on. It's like when you hit a nice shot, it just feels really easy.
Yeah. The thing is, on camera, it might still look relatively steep, but you've got to remember, if you can drop your swing plane by an inch from where it was at the start, which was really extreme, to you, that's going to feel like you're the shallowest player on the planet. Yeah, even though it's probably still steep.
Yeah.
But the great thing is, like, for performance purposes, you've only got to be an inch less steep than you were, and the impact it has on the golf ball
you get
is
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
And this is why it's always tough for people, you know, when they get obsessed with how it looks on camera. The problem is that the camera element of it on a ball takes the longest out of all of the progressions. You can move it by literally this, and performance-wise, it can just go
through the roof.
And as long as, I often find, mate, as long as the drills are looking good, which we know they have because we've seen it, we know that it looks shallow on the drill. It's like, get the drills perfect. Performance we know's changing because there hasn't been one ball start left in the last 20.
No.
And we then also know that, like, on camera, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. It'll probably still look steeper than we want it.
But it's like exaggerated. You've got sort of 4 times more, isn't it, really?
Of course, mate, yeah. And over 6 months, on camera, if it's moving by a centimetre every month, naturally then it's going to start to look better and better and better. But the thing is, because it feels so different, you can perform. I don't know if I've told you a story before when we were on the phone. It's like, I remember when I first started changing my swing, like, properly back in 2017. On camera, it still looked like the old Liam, but performance-wise, I went from, like, losing my card on Europro to, like, leading a Challenge Tour event in 5 months, going into the weekend and stuff like that. And I did that. If you looked on camera, it didn't look any really that different, maybe marginal. Different. But if you watch my drills, they were improving every day, and my feels were like different universe when I was playing. So the great thing is, because I'm feeling different things, the performance came. Do you know what I mean? So it's not that, oh, it only looks a millimetre difference, I'm still playing as bad as I was. It's like a millimetre can make a huge difference. Yeah. Especially in feel, and that's the big thing. Like, you probably feel like you're the shallowest you've ever been there.
It feels like I'm sort of...
Yeah, whereas on camera, it's probably literally an inch different.
That's a bit thin.
Again, on that one, mate, don't turn out of it.
Slow.
So once you've stepped back, stay patient. Okay, so pull down on that one a bit. See how the divot goes left again?
Yeah.
So when you get to the top, it's like patience with your chest. So when you step this way, it's then stay patient, release the golf club. Okay, so it's patience with your chest. Don't get around it too early. So step off, patience with your chest, and then let the arms go, mate. Okay, still a bit pushy with the handle. So nice step back, patient with the chest, and let it go. There you go. Nice. Beautiful.
So there's not much in that now, is there?
No. So it's literally kind of like, once you're in here, you've got to really feel this patience here, because you obviously want to get out of it like this way.
Yeah.
You've got to stay super patient with your sternum, your pelvis, and then from there, then we're just letting that club head fully release on the way through. Yeah. We're not getting out the way this way and then driving the handle forwards, which is what creates the fat stroke.
Yeah.
If you're staying patient and releasing the club, heavy won't happen. So again, a little bit
heavy,
pulling, not quite letting the club go.
When you say letting the club go?
Yeah, as in actually like throwing the club head. So it's like releasing the head, not driving the handle forwards.
Right, so more of a...
That's it, beautiful, yeah. Because if I go like this, what happens, if you hold on to the club, so if I get here and I pull and I drive the handle forwards, naturally then I'm going to drive into the ground. Whereas obviously if I can start to actually let that club head go a little bit more, I mentioned earlier about the cast feel.
Which is actually the opposite to what people have generally taught in the past. Like Garcia would be sort of here and then just an exaggeration, and everyone says it's as opposed to not here.
The thing is, it depends on what your body's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're seeing somebody that's like this way, they're going to have to thrust it forwards to then start to get low point forwards. Whereas if your body's moving how it is, the thing is you don't then want to de-loft the club as well. Because the thing is you're now de-lofting it through the geometry and the alignment of your sternum and your pelvis. The problem then is if you then drive handle forwards too, you leave face open and behind. Most of the time it creates a heavy strike, if I'm honest.
Hasn't got the energy to actually hit the ball properly.
See, I prefer that strike as the miss than heavy.
Yeah.
Nice, Kev. Beautiful. Way better. I much prefer it when you're living on that like cleaner side of the strike.
Yeah.
The great thing you've got is because it's starting to the right more, you're just going to incentivize yourself to want to throw it more.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're obviously like stuck in here, it's physically
if you
impossible.
Get started left, you've got no incentive to get more
of course,
release,
mate.
have you?
Yeah, of course you haven't, because then you know it's going to go further left. So on this one, just really kind of feel like you're patient with that chest. You've got that nice angle and let it go. Then on the way down there, you can actually throw the club head. We're not driving the handle forwards. We're just going to let that club head go a little bit more. We don't need to save it. So again, more on the thin side though.
Yep. Just getting that timing, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. The thing is, mate, they all come hand in hand. You've been in a position where you've not had energy in a position that you can throw it because the plane's been so steep. You haven't physically been able to do it. So for you, it's just finding that timing of it. It's like pushing into the toe more. So once you step back, it's like pressure into the toe, let it go. There you go, better. Nice, mate. Because the thing now is when you're getting the divots like this, the divots are squarer, more towards your target, but also the ball's not starting miles left.
Yeah.
Whereas before, to get that divot, you was having to start the ball almost on the tree line.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas now you're starting it in the perfect place. Nice, mate.
That actually felt like I was...
Yeah, into the toe.
Yeah.
It's nice, bud. So nice step back, transition, toe and throw. Ay, pull down. But look at straight away, look at the divot.
Yeah.
So if you look at that one, straight away it's over on the tree line again.
Yeah.
So that's obviously come over, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas if you keep pressuring
that's been up here as opposed to...
Exactly. But also go to the top of your backswing with the little step. Right now push into the toe. There you go. See, that divot can't possibly happen from there. Whereas it can only happen when you go that way. So if it like almost like this.
It's the feel I've got to get away from is when I do that, is I'm gonna crash in.
You're not gonna do it. Think action, reaction, like we've said to you before already today. If I push this way, it's always gonna react up and out. So you feel like you're gonna hit it into the ground, but then because the reaction to that's to pull up, it pulls the club back out the ground. Whereas if you start to actually get more circular into that heel, you tend to keep clubbing ground longer because it pushes forwards. Turf interaction doesn't have a direct relationship with the tack angle. Nice. Like I have guys that are 6 down on an 8-iron and they're literally taking the slimmest of divots because it's relating kind of the release like that to the pull up. You see, as soon as I pull up, I pull it out the ground. Whereas if I was just throwing it and not pulling up at all, it's going to dig. But if I pull up, naturally then I can get the low point perfect and get the club out the ground. But they're as steep as each other because it's the same release, look. I just pull up on one and then that's what gets the club out the ground. So you can remain in a steep attack angle, which is safe, but then at the same time, you can get it out the ground when it comes to turf interaction. Beautiful, Kev. Like, that's not even in the same stratosphere as where you were starting the ball earlier.
It's a better strike as well when it actually strikes.
It sounds more out the middle. Because you were so over it to get club on ball, it sounded very thuddy, but not like a thud that's like a nice squeezed iron shot. It's like very kind of like
a dead
clanky.
club.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was almost, that's exactly what it was, Whereas now it's like out the middle and it sounds right and it's launching better. Wow. Nice, mate.
I'm happy with that.
Better, innit?
Extra yardage come with better strike and continuity.
Of course it does, yeah.
But if you can hit it that direction all the time. you're better off.
Of course you are, mate, yeah. And what you said about distance, like we said it at the start of the session, club head speed.
Yeah.
So if you're naturally out here slowing the club head down,
you've lost the speed.
you've lost all the speed. And it also, you tend to lose a lot of that integrity of strike.
Yeah.
Whereas when that club head's moving faster, that's where the release element of it comes from. So that's why what we said all the way through today, we're incentivizing you to want to release the club. When you do that, the speed will come, the strike will come, and also the start line comes. And again, it's all just about unlocking the opportunity to be able to do that. Nice, bud. That's lovely now. 3 in a row, exactly where they're supposed to start.
Yeah.
Awesome. So just to recap, obviously, what we're doing. Energy at the start of today, too much into heel, club pitch is really steep, club outside the ball, swipe and decelerate.
Yep.
So the way that we fixed it is we're obviously only on a couple of stages here. We're just doing the drill element of it. Once we finish, we're going to get into going a bit out on the course, seeing if it's a bit different and other little bits too. But what we're looking for essentially is that you're almost kind of going to shift pressure more towards the toe. If you do that, it will help you leave arms up more, shallow the plane. From there, then you'll have a better ability to
So
release
if I
it.
do them 2 tail drills that we looked at,
Yeah.
step back, step in, and the one that we've just been doing.
Mm-hmm. And what that should do over 2, 3, 4 weeks, it'll start to soften that plane down a little bit, give you more ability to be able to release the golf club.
Yeah.
And
10
then go
minutes a
from there,
day
mate.
sort of thing, do?
Mate, if you could do 10 minutes a day, yeah, that would be perfect.
Rather than an hour doing it
Yeah, you
every
could.
few days.
Yeah, you'd be much better off to kind of do smaller intervals and just more of them. Like, and if you can keep on top of it every day, all you're doing then is you're just building in your little fields every day
So
and staying on
sometimes
top
feel
of them.
it's difficult to think, right, I'll do an hour tomorrow, and then something happens and
You don't
that
end up
hour
doing
slot,
anything.
you don't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think if I can
Little
go
like-
down every 5 minutes, do 5-minute shift, and then come back
in,
in, even if you do 2 5-minutes a day sort of thing.
Perfect, mate. Yeah. That's what, mate. It's no different to like if you're doing fitness work. If you were watching a movie for 2 hours and you did 5 push-ups every 20 minutes.
That's why I don't go to the gym, because it's an hour and it's like a long time.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, but no, mate. Yeah. So yeah, 10 minutes a day. It will get you nicely on top of everything.
Yeah.
Reshaping. So you've obviously already got your movement. You're moving way better, but the shape of the golf swing's not allowing that to be as efficient as we'd like.
Yeah.
By reshaping it a bit today with those drills, we should be able to start then moving the way you've been training for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And then everything should start to unlock a little bit more.
Cool.
Easy as that.